Okay, you guys, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this plant here. This is a super cool plant. This is called Tetrastigma, and I don't know if you can see, can you see it? Yeah, this is called Tetrastigma, and it's one of the fastest growing plants. It's supposed to be one of the fastest growing plants, and people say you can't have it as a houseplant because it's a menace and it'll take over everything, which sounds amazing to me. So I'm like, I got really excited, and on a whim, I just bought a cutting of it, got it shipped. Or no, it wasn't a cutting. It was like a little plantlet of it. And I repotted it, and it started growing crazy fast, like one of the fastest growing plants I've ever seen. And then it just stopped. It like halted like really abruptly. And so I checked out the roots and realized, oh my gosh, like this thing filled the pot with roots and then just stopped everything. So it really doesn't like to have its roots crowded. So it also really seems to enjoy consistent moisture. And so what I have here is a clear, real cheap plastic pot from H-E-B, which is if you're not in the Austin area, this is like a grocery store. And they will sell these around the going back to school time. Oh, and you can see I just had it leak. But I have drainage holes here. And what's amazing, I don't know, let me see if I can get this in the shot. But here's what's really cool. I like barely repotted this dude, and I was worried about it. Like, is it gonna know that there's water down there yet? And look at that. Wait, where'd it go? Look at that. That's crazy. That's like in a week, boom, just a root. Incredible. So I know I'm not gonna be able to keep up with watering this dude. And so that's why I have to use my, glass bottle waterer, which is my upgraded version of the AquaGlobe. It is, I don't even want to compare it to the AquaGlobe because the AquaGlobe is garbage. So I'm just gonna throw that judgment out there. It's just terrible. This is way, way better. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick out what kind of bottle might match this plant. And then what I love to do is whenever I get a clear container, and I love clear containers because I can see what's happening with the roots. Whenever I get a clear container for a pot, I love to, at the same time, go shopping for either a paint bucket, a metal paint bucket, or a trash can. Both of those, I can usually get them affordably. Like I think this was 10 or 20 bucks. And they do a great job, and they're sturdy enough that, you know, sometimes you get, you know, an outdoor metal trash can, and so it can really handle being outdoors, which is also wonderful, or being exposed to water. So I will be right back with our water bottle options, and we'll see how the whole thing works. Here we are, we have a couple different options. I'm gonna think about which one would look cool with this particular foliage. So here we have Whistle Pig. That has a cool, that's like a really interesting shape, which seems kind of fun. So that's our first option. Let's see what that looks like with the foliage. Okay, cool. And if you don't know what I'm gonna do with this, I'll show you in just a bit. Then we have this, which is Spätburgunder. That's fun. So that's just, you know, your basic green. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's really nice. Hold on. Is this one or this one? I'm feeling this one. I like this. Cool. Then we've got this guy here. This is Russell's Reserve Private Barrel Selection. That's really nice. I think that's super cool. Very fun. And then we have this, which is Rudelsie Schwanleiter. I'm not in voice teaching mode right now, so I'm probably mispronouncing this. But anywho, so there's this one. I think I'm gonna go with, surprisingly, I think I might go with this one. I really like that one. So cool. The only thing is I made this a little short, so we're just gonna have to see if it will fit. Oh, it won't fit. Oh, okay, so never mind. So this is all a new experiment for me. I've really gotten down, if the pot's short enough, like the depth of the pot is only about that much, I've really gotten a good system down for that. It's been pretty reliable so far. But I haven't for these bigger pots. And so it's still kind of trial and error for me at the moment. There's this guy, and then that's not quite enough. So we're gonna go a little farther. Once I set this up, I'll kind of explain how the whole thing works. Let's see if this is in frame. Frame. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so I know I want to cut this at least. That works, but it's kind of in the way, isn't it? So I might need to move this guy over. So hold on while I do that. Okay, so there we have it. This could still go a little farther down. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, that goes all the way in. It's gonna be easier to cover it, which is awesome. And so, since this guy seems so aggressive with his roots, I'm not too worried about how high I'm gonna make this. So normally I would make this height, and this isn't really a tutorial. I'm just kind of describing this experiment that I'm doing. So if you're like, I have more questions, totally ask questions. If you decided you're gonna try this before it's like officially, where I can officially back it as something that works. But anyway, normally what I want is for this thing to be sitting where that pipe is like not right here, because it's not going to supply much water until it's totally dried out to the bottom, but more like right here. Can you kind of see that little difference? So there's just like a little ½ inch, maybe an inch, and it's nowhere near the overflow hole that I'll probably drill around here. And because of the way water works, what's cool about this is the water isn't actually going to leak out. It isn't actually going to just spill all the way out. It'll only spill up to the level that there's air to help it pump. So let me see if I can show what that looks like. So here we have this bottle here. Let's see, might have to change that a little bit. So here's this bottle. Because this is airtight, the seal that I made around here, this water is not gonna start to go down until this goes down enough. And so that's what's amazing about this. And there's all this water I can store along with this bottle. So now we're gonna add a little bit of sphagnum moss and put it in a pot, and we'll see what that looks like. Here it is. A little, maybe perhaps mistake, or, well, I guess that was easy to do. Yeah, never mind. So I didn't like the way this was positioned, but I changed that. You'll notice these brown tips. I don't know if I already mentioned this in the last recording I was making, but this was from filtered sun. This guy, even through a stained glass window in the bathroom, that sun just roasted this poor little plant. So that's what this is from. And I learned quickly that I didn't like that. But the new leaf is doing super awesome. But yeah, so this is kind of the finished product. I had the clear container so I can easily see if it needs water. The trouble with it was that I'd have to pull this whole thing out. That takes time, it takes energy, it gets heavy, and I'm all about minimum effort, minimum energy, so I can make room for outdoor garden stuff, for really scaling up how many plants I'm growing. So yeah, and so here it's really nice. You can see at a glance if you need water. This camera isn't really showing, but I can see easily in real life the water level. And so I know that once this is empty, I will definitely need to water or check, which is great. So in the beginning, after I've just done this, I'm going to be checking more often. It might be every few days or every week, at least every week, to make sure there's no issues with the process, although I'm not worried about it, but I just do that as a precaution anyway. And then check it out. You don't even see the PVC pipe or anything. You just see this nice layer of the sphagnum moss. This does not have fungus gnats in it, so fungus gnats are not an issue. If you already have a fungus gnat problem in your growing space, then they might breed in here if this stays moist. I've noticed that this does tend to dry out, so I'm not too worried about that, and I don't have a fungus gnat issue because of the system that I do, which is mostly leca and sphagnum, long fibered sphagnum moss, which I believe is made sustainably as well. I believe they actually grow this, which is wonderful because this is magic. This acts like a root system for the plant in a way. So maybe someday I'll get into more detail about how amazing long fibered sphagnum moss is. But yeah, really fun. We will see how this Tetrastigma progresses. Thanks for watching.